I'm going to teach you the another part of this chapter, that's a topographical map or representations of other features. The last class already I have told you about the some relief features which are associated with the topographical sheet, where already we have understood about the different contours and the different contour patterns and with the different landforms which are associated with the contours. Now I'm going to tell you today the another patterns of the this topographical map, through that we can understand. So my this topic is that settlement pattern and the map interpretation. So here in this slide I can tell you that there are settlement patterns are shown here. What is the settlement pattern? Settlements are the group of human dwellings. They may be in a rural areas or a urban areas. Generally, thick, dense settlements are found over the fertile plains and wider river valleys. Where the thin populated area occurs, the area of poor, thin soils, forested areas, over flat hilltops, and the desert areas and the vegetation areas. So, settlements are classified into various types of that. They are the dispersed, nucleated, linear, and isolated. Thank you. My next slide is pattern and their explanation. The first I can tell you the permanent settlements or nucleated settlement. They are the homes built by the people where they can live for a long time. In India, thick, densely populated areas such as the Indo-Gangetic plains are permanently settled areas. On topo sheets, they are represented thus in red squares. Most of these settlements assume a certain pattern in a relation to the area where they group up. The next is that a linear pattern. A linear pattern or a kind of that, these are settlements that strung out along roads, canals, stream, line along the foothills, hills. They are also called the ribbon settlements. And the dispersed are those type of where the people live in herds near the agricultural land, well scattered over the large area. This pattern is associated with a sparse population region. So these all other settlements are very important for the permanent and temporary settlements to be identified, because through that only we are able to find out the permanent and settlements. There are also few two things are given to give you another reference of a linear development in the Amazon is a aerial photography. Another one is a linear settlements views are also shown to give you a better explanation for this part. Thank you. Map interpretation is another important part of this chapter. Even that I must say, without this principle of map interpretation, this chapter is a worthless. So before that, we must need to know the basic introduction of a map interpretation. A topographical map present before us a detailed information of a given area. Using the signs and the symbols, with the help of these only, we are able to interpret and analyze the given map. So generally what we find here some land uses pattern, settlements pattern, transport and the occupation of the people. But I can see that topographical map present before the information about the detail, with the help of we can interpret the gives map. Compass is also used. Here you can see a picture is showing that a landscape. A land use pattern is a distribution of a cultivation lands, or these three symbols would also be shown that perfectly there is a rainfall or not, there is a barren land or not. So this is the land use pattern, through that we can understand through the map. The next picture which depicts for the transport. Like the transport is also very important, through that we can able to understand by the map. The map also indicates us whether it is a metal road or non-metal road, whether it has an airport or the railway track or not. So these are also resembles is a good transport level developed or not. Whereas next pictures, if we see that, that's a dispersed settlement. That settlement is a spread over the found in the uplands areas. And these landform are also shows the occupation of the people. The people are if the more cluster, it means there is a lot of chances for the more occupation is. And if there is a chances of a less red mark, it means that their occupations are not so developed over here. Thank you. My next slide is that of physical features and the drainage features, which we also understand through the map interpretation. Like here, the physical features are those features which indicate the help of a contour lines. Take a note of the highest point of the lowest point of the map. These are usually indicating the spot heights of the trigonometrical heights. So by that, we can easily identify on the topographical map whether it is a physical features or the political features of another features or contours. Where the drainage features we easily understand by the river on the follows clears the indication of a direction of a slope, waterfalls, rapid, also related with the slope and the stream. Thank you. Draw cross section. That is very important. While I'll present you a topo sheet in front of you, if you don't have the basic idea of a cross section, you cannot able to find out the mountain and plateaus on the map. For that, you need the tools of a divider, either twines or the scale. Any one of the tools you can use it for find out the cross section, and the strip of paper also is required. Like here, it's been described that a topographical map or cross section is appended. We are going to class field trip to imaginary locations known as a armadillo ridge. Before we get there, we want to determine the easiest way to the top. To help us, we will use the topography map of armadillo ridge to make a cross section showing us the side views of the land. So the topographical map, flat map shows the elevation. So we can use the topographical map to make a cross section along any straight line we draw on the map. A cross section will give us an idea of how to look from a side view. Let's first look at the topographical map of Armadillo Range. There's an Armadillo Range to be shown here, just a left-hand side of the explanation. And the step 1 to be followed that take a thin strip of a paper to place it along the cross-section line. Where the contour intersect with the strip of paper, make a mark and record the elevation. These marks of elevation are shown in the red. Step 2, take a strip of paper, put it on the fresh piece of paper, draw 2 vertical lines representing the boundaries of your cross section. Also draw equally spaced elevation lines parallel to your strip of paper. This line would be parallel to a x-axis on a graph or are labeled with a number representing elevation. It looks nice if you make a bottom line 50 feet below your lowest elevation and if you top line 50 feet above your highest elevation. And the last step is that draw dots corresponding to that elevation along the strip of paper and responding of a cross section line. Through that you can present a mountain, plateau or any other things. Thank you.